Hi, hello, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be checking out the differences between Finland and USA, right? So let's go check this one out. I'll be back.
Hello guys, I am back! So I kind of wanted to do a video about the differences between the USA and Finland. Wait a moment, the USA and Finland? Yay for props! Am I right?
Yes,
You know, and as a dual citizen of both countries and having lived in both countries, I've written down like a sort of list of like the most obvious things that I noticed every single time that I go there and everything I notice when I come back here. So I thought I would be in a good place to speak about them, hopefully. So if you guys were expecting me to like make some kind of vlogish type video, I'm sorry I didn't really film anything because I didn't actually do all that much. If you are interested in seeing some pictures, I did upload some on Instagram and my Facebook page, so you can check those out there, but otherwise I'm just gonna make this differences video, and yeah, let's get started because I think I've been blabbing on way too long now, so yeah. Okay, number one thing that gets me every single time is the tax system there. Okay, when you go and buy something from the store, they don't include the tax in the price. So say you go up and pick something up and it says it costs $10.99, it's gonna be more than that once they ring it at the till because they add the tax only afterwards, and then it ends up a lot more than what you expected. And if you're paying in cash, there has been times where I don't even have enough cash because it ends up being a lot more expensive than I thought it would be because of the tax. See, here in Finland, the tax is already added onto the price, so even though our taxes are a lot higher, it's still already set in the price, so you can tell beforehand how much it's gonna be. So there's no nasty surprises.
Yeah.
Okay, this one might be a bit weird, but toilets. In America, the toilets are filled to the brim with water. I don't understand, are they trying to flood the bathroom? Because literally, the tank, or like the toilet, is the whole thing's filled with water.
Why?
I don't understand why that much water is needed, because every time you flush the toilet, so much water is wasted. Like really, in Finland, there's only about like this much water in the toilet. Like you don't need more than that, honestly. And it's just weird how much water there is. It creeps me out. And then the flushing technique too. There's so much water that it just swirls around. Another thing is portion size. Okay, US is known for having everything bigger, and that is true. Everything is bigger there, from like family-sized cereal packets at the stores to having like a gallon-sized milk. Like you can buy milk and juice in like these huge gallon-sized bottles, where that's huge. You don't. It's like this big for like a thing of milk you can get, and it's like, why would you need so much? Like milk, we can only get it in like liters. I don't think there's anything bigger than a liter for milk. And even in restaurants, all the portion sizes are huge. McDonald's, you can get for $1 like this, like literally this size drink for $1. It's absolutely insane. They don't even sell anything that big in Finland. Like you can't even get in. The large drinks in Finland and McDonald's, they're the size of the small drinks in America.
Oh, you're
absolutely
serious?
Crazy. But then I guess in America you have this thing called a doggy bag, where you can like you eat at a restaurant and then you take the leftovers home. In Finland you don't do that. You go to the restaurant, you get a smaller portion size that you actually eat all of it at the restaurant, and then you leave. You don't really ever take anything home with you. So I guess maybe that's the difference. I'm not sure. And on the note of everything being bigger, the cars are absolutely huge there. Like you got these huge tank cars driving along on the road. They're really these huge box square tank cars, like gas guzzlers, you know? So people here have a lot smaller cars, and you can definitely see that because the cars in America are just huge. Everyone has like these giant trucks in it. And I've even ridden in some, and it feels like you really are in a bus when you're in them. And while we're talking about cars, in America, all of the cars pretty much are automatic. In Finland, on the other hand, the majority of cars are like stick shift or manual. And for your driving test in Finland, if you don't take your driving test with a manual car, it will read on your license, and you will not be able to, or you won't be allowed to drive a manual car. So it will show on your license. Another point about the houses are like the wind fan or like those ceiling fans, you know, where it's the light and then they have the
Wow.
fan and then it like you pull a string and it like starts spinning and then it like circulates the air in the room and cools it down or something. That's something I haven't seen anywhere else except in America, and definitely don't have those in Finland unless you specially built them yourself, but I've never seen them here, so that's something different as well. Another difference between Finland and America that I've noticed is how you write like the dates. And this has messed me up so many times. In Finland, it's day, month, year, but in America, they have month, day, year. And it just screws me up so much because I look at it always the wrong way. Oh, and on the same note, in America, they use AM and PM when writing time, but in Finland, they use the 24-hour clock. So it's like, say, 7 p.m. Here it would be said as like 19 o'clock. So okay, and another thing is kind of like customer service in a way. Everyone is so chatty. Like people, you go into the store and maybe it's just because I look suspicious, or maybe there's actually a job where like, I think it's called like a door greeter or something, where it's like their job to greet people when they come into the store, but everyone talks to you, or like even while you're at the register they like try and do small talk, and I'm just like let me get on with my day. I don't know, it's just I'm known as the weird quiet Finnish girl because I'm not used to, you know, just talking, you know, whether it be saying hi to someone. So it's going to be totally different when you get there street while you're jogging or something. It's just, I know it's more of a small town thing, and when we go there we go to a small town, so people, you know you're not from around there, so they tend to chat with you and try and talk, and it just it puts me on edge because I'm not used to that, because here you barely even look people in the eye when you're walking by them, and you like just look at the ground and go. But there people try to talk to you, and it's just like a whole different experience. I never know what to say, so they just think I'm rude, and I'm just like, sorry, I'm not used to these social situations. Okay, and finally, I know this video has dragged on quite a bit, but last point I want to say, the difference that I've noticed is tipping. In America, when you go out to eat somewhere, like say in a sit-down restaurant, you're expected to tip the waitress or waiter after you're done. And that always freaks me out because I never know, first of all, how much you're supposed to tip. Second of all, people always have to remind me because I always forget, because I don't realize that it's a thing. Because here in Finland, the tip, there is no tip at all. You never tip anyone. Because say you go to a restaurant, the people that are working there, they're already paid like a certain base amount that like the tip is kind of included in their salary. They're already getting paid their salary, so you don't need to worry about that. It's not your duty to give them money. Like they're getting it already, so you don't tip them. That was a big mess, but I tried my best. Bottom line, no tipping Finland, yes tipping America. But yeah, those are the main ones that I can think of at this moment. So I guess my question for you guys would be, if you've ever been to...
So this was nice to watch. I totally enjoyed every bit of it. Obviously she compared America and Finland, and there's a lot of huge difference. The part of the milk, the car, the tipping, what's the light with the bulb on it, right? Anyways, I enjoyed watching every bit of it. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section, right? But it was fun because I think the part where it was so funny to me was the tipping part, where she said they actually pay them, so she feels like they don't deserve any tip. Yeah, that's because she's coming from Finland. With the small talks, you know, Finns are not big on small talks. They love their personal space. So obviously, when you get to a country where those people are big on small talk, it's going to be like a total different ball game again, right? So I totally enjoyed this. It was nice. I hope you did. Thank you so much. Catch you guys in my next one.